Hey Jeep family, this is Neil from SFJ4x4.com, Simpson Family Jeeps, and we are coming at you today with another Tech Tuesday update. And you can see, we'll walk around the shop. We have a pretty full house as we continue to work through our big spring schedule. So this one here is actually a part company vehicle, and this is actually owned by our media manager, Scott Lindquist, and he is getting a new to him Jasper transmission, which we've been waiting a pretty long time. So Jeff's getting this one set to go up in the air. We're going to drop out the current transmission that's in it and do a Jasper upgrade transmission. Really cool thing about Jasper is they actually give you a whole laundry list of things that they've done to improve upon and make these trans more robust. So they've done a number of cool internal upgrades, and we're going to be dropping that in there with a full Mishimoto radiator and cooling upgrade. As we kind of start to pan in this direction through the service floor, this one is heading out here very soon. This was a nice 4-door, 2.5-inch JK lift. It's got these very nice looking DV8 wheels. This one actually got the Rugged Ridge hinge tire carrier upgrade and the full Iron Rock 2.5-inch kit, which includes their springs and their brake line drop brackets and front lower control arms. It also has the Fox 2.0 performance shocks on it. So very cool, nice riding, super clean, little 4-door JKU there. Behind us, this one has been in for a while. It's getting its final touches. We're bringing the gas tank. It had been in, got a lot of frame love done to it, gas tank. You'll see that in some of our previous videos where our mad scientist was doing some metal fabrication, cleaning up that gas tank that we brought in. It's going in, suspension is getting torqued, and we're getting ready to turn that one out very soon. As we pan back this way into our big project area, you'll see our performance mechanic over my left shoulder, the right side of your screen, and I'll get to what he's doing, and then Scott himself is actually back in the CJ corner, turning and burning on the hashtag not a restoration project. But we have our big LJ, our JK Ultimate 44 and 44 swap to LJ. Big thing that got done recently was the custom steering linkage. We have to make a kind of a particular bend to clearance all of the goodies stuffed into the front end as far as the steering, the hydraulic assist, track bar, and the anti-rock sway bar link mounts. So we mocked up our first attempt at the steering, realized we want a more aggressive kick to it. We're using a bunch of Artec rod ends and tube adapters, misalignment spacers, so on and so forth. And so prototype 1 is under there, but looks like we're going to readdress that and shoot to put a more aggressive kick. As we move back here, Greg is working on a supercharger install on this very sick Gladiator, which is very cool. It's actually sitting on 40s at this point. We've done a lot of axle work, re-geared, ARB lockers. The Magnuson supercharger that we're doing the install with has a huge horsepower rating, but more importantly, it's got one of the highest torque band ratings. And obviously that's super important when it comes to how we use our Jeeps, because we want that torque to come in early. So if you're familiar with superchargers, it's basically forced air induction of some manner. And so the two ways to do that is by turbo or by supercharge. And so this, via supercharger, most people think about as the RPMs of the engine increase, therefore does the horsepower band, or the ability to shove more air into the engine. The cool thing about the Magnuson is that actually, in the manner of how it's tuned and how it's constructed, it has a proportional torque band. So when this is done, not wheel horsepower, but dynoed engine horsepower, this is going to be pushing at the crank 440 horsepower and near 380, 390 foot-pounds of torque. Now, obviously, there's a reduction as it goes through the gears and the tires and all that kind of good stuff. You know, it's reduced as it goes through the driveline, but those are massive numbers out of a 3.6. We're doing a custom Ngk plug, which is actually a specialty plug. This one actually has to be brought in from the manufacturer, Ngk. Specifically, it's a cooler running plug, is what we're being told, which is a pretty interesting piece of how this process works. So we're working through getting that supercharger installed, and we'll have that one in the shop for a week or two before it goes off to the dyno to get fully dialed in. Over here is that cool Jasper, which we've seen a couple times. All of this is getting ready to go on one singular Jeep. So we'll be showing off that Jeep in the very near future. As we come back into the CJ corner, we've got the Nada restoration. Scott is working on getting the beautiful rebuilt transmission and transfer case. He's worked very hard on getting that. Looks like he's getting ready to prime that, put some gear oil in there. And then we have this specific CJ7, which is getting custom stereo, custom wiring harness, or a painless wiring harness. A lot of that wiring harness has been laid out at this point. The gauges are all getting updated and upgraded. And then we have the beach cruiser in the back, which we've been picking away slow and steady at as well. We'll finish in the parking lot real quick and that'll be a wrap for now. This corner here, we call this one New Mexico. This is a really cool Jeep that is originally from New Mexico. Beautiful frame, body. You've just never seen anything originally clean like this here in our region. It's just getting some basic tune-up, getting a new ignition cylinder, getting the column work done. In the back corner is a tried and true, one of our favorites. That tank green monster back there has been back and forth on quite a few JJUSA runs, and it came in for a ARB Terraflex under the seat mount for an ARB dual compressor, has an Adams shaft. All the work is done on that at this point, and it's ready to head off to its next big adventure. Directly behind us, this particular Jeep is getting upgraded front drive shaft, re-geared to 456. Steering system corrected because it has a lift kit on there that actually created an implausible steering system, and some general maintenance as well. We'll pan past my two big favorite ones, my Rams back here, but Bunny back here is a 2.4 four-cylinder motor, and so these are actually the two 2.4 engines that we've had recently. And fortunately, those parts are becoming more readily available. In the last couple of years, they just weren't available because of the low production numbers. But fortunately, this one's become more available, and we've gone through and sealed up that engine. Had some massive oil leak issues, but we've gone through and sealed that bad boy up completely. And at this point in time, we're doing a new flywheel and clutch. Now, the unique thing about either of these Jeeps, because the 2.4 is not a horsepower monster like that big 3.6 we just looked at, they actually have a dual mass flywheel to assist in the inertia. Once the engine gets it spinning, now that dual mass, the weight of that dual mass flywheel assists in the process of allowing the transmission to appropriately transfer energy from the engine. And despite the fact that those are both 2.4 motors, they actually have different transmissions based on the year break of them. So one of the challenges we've had recently is attempting to find the right clutch and flywheel assemblies for both of those, and strangely enough, the valve cover. Because there's such a low production run, and it was a proprietary valve cover for just 2002 to 2007 Liberties and Wranglers, the valve covers are very hard to come by. So the one in the green, we actually just shipped in one of those valve covers from a Jeep salvage yard in Florida. So we're very happy. We've inspected it, and it is perfect, meets all of our requirements, and we'll be going on that one here very soon. So the 2.4 corner is very close to being done, and those customers are on their way. As we pan through the parking lot, our big international, Chuck Norris, one of our customer vehicles. And we're actually starting to be able to move out some of our vehicles, work through the backlogs. As we shoot across this way, we have this really cool white and black rig over here. It's very close to being heading out. It's waiting on a Mishimoto radiator, cooling system upgrade, and a full classic tube stainless steel brake line upgrade. And basically it's waiting its time to get back in on the lift. All those parts are here. We just need to finalize them. And then actually those customers are sending that off to a paint shop, and it's getting a fresh coat of bright white paint, and then getting all of the appropriate trim work from Kentrol, all those black powder coated stainless steel hinges and trim pieces reinstalled. So it's gonna be really sick when it's all done. On the other side, we actually have a Grand Cherokee, and that's a 2013 Grand Cherokee. Interesting, came in for a transfer case issue, and so we're working through that process. It was low on fluid, possibly a chain issue, maybe even just an actual inherent issue in the differential in the transfer case itself. And so we're working through that process as well as it goes onto the rack and then off the rack as we do the diagnosis and then the build process. And pushing off into the corner here, we have this very cool 3.8 Jeep from Texas, and they're getting a Jasper 3.8 engine and transmission replacement. And then we have the two-door Cherokee there. It's waiting on its big burly 4.0 stroker motor. So full property. As always, we appreciate everybody's support. If there's a cool project that you saw and you would like to know more about, make sure you say something in the comments. Or maybe you're one of the lucky people whose Jeep is coming in for service this spring. We're looking forward to that. We appreciate your support and your dedication to the SFJ brand. All of these hardworking individuals that you saw here and then behind the scenes, we're really fortunate as they push through and we are able to deliver the highest quality product for you, the Jeep enthusiast. So if it's your first time watching, I hope you enjoy our shop. It's a great place. Lots of very cool Jeeps come out of it. Make sure you like and subscribe, ring that notification bell so that you're getting alerts when we do a podcast, when we have a walk around video, when we do these shop updates for you. And if there's something cool or unusual that you'd like to discuss with us, you can find us on Facebook Messenger or through our email or through our website, sfj4x4.com, or call into our facility. And until then, Jeep family, Jeep on.